Benue people reject eating of cow meat in the whole of Benue land. Wow, this is a very nice thing to do. It's a very welcome development. And this thing they have been done it for a long time, so that this issue of Fulani X-Men and bandits and the rest of them coming to their place, because they see that once they did not give them cow, or maybe, and the other saying it is the vision of Nnamdi Kanu. He has already seen all those things for a long time, and that is the main reason why he was clamoring, saying that we need Biafra, we need our nation to segregate, to leave the country, to be on our own as an independent country, because living with those people, they don't know anything, only both cow and animal. They believe that they value cow more than human being. They value animal more than human being. And then in their life, it is better for you to bring them down than for you to bring their animal down, or else there will be a serious war and a serious fight between you and them. But this time around, it's like the Benue, they have started waking up. They have started seeing what is the main cause of their problem. As for now, the issue of rejecting cow and the issue of telling them not to bring any beef, any cow, any beef meat to your place is the best way and the best thing to do. Well, my people, I would like you to hear to our Biafran activists who explain everything according to what is going on in Benue and what is going on between the Benue government and the Nigerian government, and what is really happening in Biafra land, and the issue of X-Men moving around everywhere. As you're about to watch, you try to like, subscribe, and share the video to go around the world for others to understand and to see what is happening in Nigeria and the way the government is treating the people. Thank you for watching.
It's like people of Benue State have resorted to how to look to the solution of the or ending insecurity in their domain, as they have resolved not to eat beef again, but to eat pork all the time, and that has led to the skyrocketing of the price of pork in that area. What do you have to? Are you a lover of pork? Do you love pork?
Well, I think this issue has to be economically understood, and security undertone attached to it. You know, pork meat and cow meat, and in fact, it's not better to go for cow meat and pork meat and remain alive than to go for cow meat and die. You know, so it is very important they understand how they are trying, because it looks like, see, the Middle Belt Governors Forum or the Middle Belt themselves or the leaders does not know how to go about handling the issue of Fulani, because Fulani, you know, has eventually entered them. This has started from right from the days of, you know, Ata of Igala, you know, and when the Middle Belt, you know, we are very formidable in terms of, you know, forces resistance, in terms of military engagement, in terms of the army and all that. You know, they were able to put some level of check. But you see, to tell you that jihadists and Islamic tendencies and movement, you know, come in phases, you know, and this is an agenda, whether they have put it somewhere or they have just sat down and said, you know, this is what they do from generation to generation, or from one era to another. You can see how, you know, the then military leaders in Nigeria at that time was taking them down, the likes of Gideon Oka, the plane crash and everything. It was gradually, and it weakened the military might and the strength of the Middle Belt, you know, to an extent. Now most of them have no that background, you know, to be able to withstand resistance, and that's why they look as if they are falling back, you know, to a certain the Igbo nation, or to the Biafran story, you know, to see how they can be protected, because it is gradually taking their communities, you know, one after another. Like when you listen to the governor, the present governor, I'm not talking about autumn now. I'm talking about Hyacinth Alia, the present governor of Middle Belt, declaring that there's nothing they can do, and at every point in time he is seen to be have a soft spot or a kind of paying homage or have some level of fear or inferiority complex to confront the head of the Islamic supreme leader himself, talking about the Sultan of Sokoto. At every point in time you see him going down flat, just to make a ceremonial appearance over the killings, over the massacre of Benue people, on daily basis. So all those kind of ceremonial appearance, making some ceremonial statement, points to the fact that he might also be one of the Fulani installed governors. So I think the citizens themselves are taking it upon themselves to see how outside defense, even though the youths are trying to mobilize themselves after, but still it has been something that they cannot be able to stop. Now, and the conquest agenda is still ongoing, and the fear is that Benue shared or becomes a wall, a boundary, or becomes a point of entry to anything that has to do with the Enugu Aziks communities and other. So you can see the reason why why the Benue youth are taking decisions over whether to go for pork rather than cow, and the ESN also is coming from another angle and declaring, I think 24 hours to that, there will be no cow anywhere in the Biafran land. No cow, nobody should parade any cow either in the forest or in the street. I think that was what the youth of Benue caught up with, and they actually declared they will no longer be taking anything that has to do with cow. In fact, eating cow now has become a taboo, has become sort of forbidden. And all in essence, you see how they can curtail the fear of leveraging on whatever importation or acceptance or grazing, whatever form they are going to look at it, without transporting it or whatever. You don't just need anything that has to do with cow. They resorted to other options, maybe trying to boost the pork farm. Let me just put it that way. The pork farm. So everything are going to pork farming now. You see what necessity has become the mother of invention. But how will they be able to do that? Because the real thing is not about the cow. The real thing is not about whether they are not going to eat cow again or whether they are going to concentrate on eating pork again. The thing is that that land must be conquered and be taken by this extremist movement, and they are already map out their plan that from there they can start hitting the boundaries of the Biafra, from that angle, and that's why the ESN reacted. Of course, the IPOB ESN reacted in that direction and automatically banned anything that has to do with cow grazing, whether in the forest or in the street. There should be no cow anywhere in the Biafran land. It is an ultimatum.
Let's look at it in this way. Can stop eating beef and concentrate on pork meat? Can it stop this? Killing. Do you think it can stop this killing? Because even without their cow, they can still come and attack. And don't you think it can even, make this Fulani to be more furious?
Of course, there will be an economic damage on the side of people who are doing businesses with cow, who are transporting cow, whether it is genuine or not, might be just a cover up. Let us see how that is going to play out at the end of the day, because if you look at it from different point of view, the political leaders there have already, the fear of being attacked or being killed, the religious leaders within the Middle Belt Forum and all that, and that's why the fear is everywhere now. Most of them are calling and saying it every day, can they release NNAMDI KANU? Maybe another direction would have come, another directive would have come, another form of resistance would have come. Maybe, then there's a voice that can be there for them at the background. But unfortunately, the governors, the political leaders are seen to be just loyal to the Sultan of Sokoto, to the Caliphate, to the Fulani agenda, to the Fulani politicians, because they are the ones that made them. So they can barely do anything in that regard, and that is what we are actually facing in the entire Biafra space, including Bayelsa currently now, including Delta, including the only state I can tell you that is relatively not experiencing that has been reported is only Cross River. Every other state in the entire south and southeast region, is it Edo is under attack. I can tell you some part of Ondo too is under attack.
Yes.
So you can see what happened in Kwara. The serious massacre took place in Kwara a few days ago by the same people, and that's why people are the people are looking out for an alternative, and that is where the pressure is coming. Where, how, who are we going to listen to? How are we going to see that we escape this, even though we are saying we are not going to eat pork anymore? Can Nigeria leaders who has already pledged loyalty to a certain people that is being seen as the Supreme Council leader of the whole Muslims in Nigeria, and having a certain influence in political position, means that the middle belt, and of course to an extent, are continue to fall into this conquest agenda that is taking so many faces, that is taking so many directions, that is being seen from different angles. But unfortunately, the political leaders, both in the middle belt and the entire old eastern region, seem to be pretentious over it.
Let's look at another funny resistance that I hear they made at Delta State, where housewives, embark on strike. No more cooking for their husband. No more. They are no longer available in their hotel room until their husband look for. The way to end this endless killing in their domain.
See, let me tell you, until we don't need to wait for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to rise up and to start issuing out directives or directions currently now, but Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have continued to put his word in every direction, like it's being reported here a few days ago, and when his team of lawyers visited him at the DSS custody, he made it very clearly, no retrieve, no surrender, nothing. He can never negotiate anything that has to do with Biafra restoration with anybody. He is not interested. That is not even interested in political solution to the Biafran cause, because it is daring everybody on the face that had it been that they didn't look at down on what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was talking about, the 2017, 20 upwards in this moment, maybe they would have created a formidable force resistance against this thing. Look at the Delta State, the whole women come out, and look at the governor have just moved to a party that has brought that seems to be the driving tool of this political conquest we are talking about. So the Delta people are already looking at it that since there's nobody, our men are cowards now, our men cannot be able to do anything, nobody's coming out, then there will be no another room for any of us, including the governor of Delta State. Everybody should hold themselves and face the reality. I think that was what the women are trying to, the attention the women are trying to draw. That how can we have able-bodied men and everybody is just silent because of maybe political affiliations or alliances, and we allowed our farmers being taken by mysterious bandits, heavily armed and still infiltrating to this moment. And you can see, I've never seen any of the governors in the entire old eastern region making a statement resisting this influx of jihadists among they are there, but what they are trying to do now is that they are sending conflicting signal, and the Igbo nation must understand this very clearly. This conflicting signal that it is the Igbo youth, or like Soludo will always come and put up a rubbish claim that he cannot find out, raise his own army, raise his own resistance. It's unfortunate. It means that the security system has collapsed. So everybody should just go and look for a way to secure himself. But that does not give us a direct, harmonious victory over what we are fighting about until there's a collective, directive and solution to what we are experiencing on daily basis.
As you are rounding up now, some beef meat, concentrate on pork meat, has some religious undertone, because everybody know that Muslim, you don't eat pork, and Benue State is a Christian state. Don't you think that it has a religious tone? And how do you think these people, they will react?
It's a form of economic resistance, and on the so-called they have severed whatever threat bilateral they would have been enjoying with the Fulani herdsmen in that regard, and dealers of all types of cows in that regard. So nobody's going to listen to that. So they basically choose a certain chua meat, that will be very detrimental to
disgusting
to the religious belief or whatever that's linked with the pork, which I don't know. But even if it is actually a form of security check and resistance, well, it is a welcome development, and to an extent, maybe when they enter their houses to go and kill them, they will see them with the pork meat. Maybe they will have a rethink, or maybe they start going another direction. But that is not it. The thing is that conversion of the Benue Christians to Fulani, to Islam is just the basic of the whole thing. But this issue of pork now, I think to an extent it might resist some level of a threat that breeds insecurity in Benue State. And the same thing we are seeing in eastern part of the country now, that they are the only squad group that is meant to checkmate and handle the jihadist movement in the eastern region, which is ESN, has declared taking another step in that direction. There's a lot of things that's happening there. I can tell you the Bitcoin big man there is about to establish the biggest ranch in the eastern part of the country. So there must be a way to stop this meat thing, which they are using to infiltrate under the guise of open grazing route and all the kind of rubbish they do and all that. I think it has become something the people have now taken security to their own hand, and they must define it the way they want.
Thank you for listening, and don't forget to like this video, comment, share, and subscribe to this channel if you are watching for first time. But Mr. Chinedu, I eat pork. Do you eat?
Well, let me just tell you very clearly. I'm not a pork fan.
Okay.
I'm not in United States of America, and I'm not in China. We have our own meat. I don't like pork meat from beginning. Anything outside goat meat and a fibo, like the way it is, or cocoa or a fowl. And fish, we don't need cow. We will have our own. It's just unfortunately that the government deliberately killed the government of the eastern region. Killed. That's what we call a FIBO, and not only that, this is outdated already, and nobody should be seen be carrying cow on the street. The modern farming, the technology and system allows you to have a particular place and keep, just like what we see in the outside world. Grow your stuff within your community, ranch them. What they mean by ranching is keep them in one place. That is the traditional old tradition of the Igbo people. When they do their goat thing and other, they do small house for them and keep them there and make sure that whatever they are looking for is being supplied them at that point. Then why would somebody be taking cow from one forest to another, destroying farms, and it tells you that the owners of Nigeria.
Thank you very much.
Oh yes, that is it, my people. This action they take now, it is very nice action. At least they should have started from one place to start tracing, to start knowing where the problem is coming from. And then the main thing about this issue of buying people every day in the country, it is the issue of bad leaders, weak leaders, and very tormenting leader we have in the country. Because I did being the leader we have in this country is a good leader, is a leader that knows about the people. So all these things won't have been happening. but it's because of that they believe that only their family, only themselves, and only within their own security, within those who is within them. That is what they understand, that is what they know. When they will remember you is when they want you to vote for them. It's only the time they will remember you. Well, but God will help us, and God will save his people. I would like you to subscribe, like, and share the video to go around the world. I would like to hear your comments down below to see your mind, to see your view. Thank you for watching.